I never thought I'd find myself thanking another woman for tearing my marriage apart. But life has a cruel, twisted way of working things out. My name's Ryan, and this is the story of how my wife's affair didn't just destroy everything I thought I knew. It led me to an unexpected, strange kind of redemption. Natalie and I had been married for 12 years. We met in college, young and full of dreams, convinced we'd be together forever. She was vibrant, smart, and full of life. I was quieter, steady, maybe a bit too complacent. We fell in love quickly, married right after graduation, and set out to build a life together. It wasn't flashy, but it was ours. A modest, quiet life with a steady rhythm. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and keep watching, because the best part's coming up next. Natalie worked as a marketing coordinator at a tech company, often juggling deadlines and client meetings, while I worked as an accountant at a mid-sized firm. We had a cozy suburban home, a golden retriever named Buster, who was more family than pet, and what I believed was a rock-solid marriage. But beneath that surface, the cracks had started to form. I noticed the late nights becoming more frequent. She told me it was for work. Campaigns, deadlines, urgent client requests. But I started to see patterns that didn't add up. I'd come home from work some nights to find the house empty, lights off, and her car gone. The office parking lot, where her car should have been during late work hours, was often empty when it should have been full. Small things unsettled me. A new perfume scent I didn't recognize. The way she guarded her phone now, always face down or hidden in her purse. She stopped leaving her phone around like she used to. The affectionate texts and calls between us became sparse, replaced by a distance I couldn't explain. I should have listened to the signs. I should have seen it coming. But I was stubborn. I wanted to trust her, to believe in us, even when everything inside me screamed otherwise. I told myself that after 12 years, we'd worked too hard to just fall apart over suspicion. I clung to the hope that she'd come back to me, that this was just a rough patch. The breaking point came on a cold October night. Natalie said she had to work late again. Something in me told me to check. I drove by her office around 9 p.m. The parking lot was deserted except for a security guard's car. Her car was nowhere in sight. My stomach twisted. I felt a sinking, helpless kind of dread. She came home well after midnight, exhausted, but I caught it. The faint scent of cologne that definitely wasn't mine clinging to her skin. The realization hit me like a punch. I wasn't ready to confront her that night. I wanted proof, real proof. 3 weeks later, the truth landed on me like a hammer. Natalie was in the shower. Her phone was charging on the nightstand. A message popped up on the screen. "Can't wait to feel you again tomorrow." The sender was saved under Conference Room B. My hands shook as I tried to unlock it. Birthday codes, anniversary codes, all rejected. Then I tried Buster's birthday, and the screen lit up. What I saw broke me in ways I didn't think possible. Months of secret texts, intimate, explicit messages, photos I'll never forget, hotel reservations booked in the dead of night, lies woven carefully around our lives. The man was Derek Morrison, her co-worker, her secret for over 8 months. I sat there, the phone heavy in my hands, staring at a life that wasn't mine anymore. I felt betrayed, angry, lost, but mostly numb. I knew I had to confront her, but I also knew that confrontation would change everything between us forever. The next morning, I printed some of the messages and left them beside her coffee cup. When she saw them, the color drained from her face. Her voice trembled as she tried to explain, to apologize. She said it meant nothing, that it was only physical, that she still loved me. But then, in a voice so quiet it cut deeper than the affair itself, she said, "Derek understands me in ways you don't. He makes me feel alive." That sentence shattered my heart. It wasn't just the betrayal. It was the painful truth. She had found in Derek something she no longer believed she could find with me. Our marriage was over. Not because of the affair alone, but because she had given up on us. Even if I hadn't, I told her I wanted a divorce. She packed her things and moved out that weekend, leaving the house unbearably empty, honest, but hollow. Buster seemed confused by the silence, the absence of her laughter and presence. The house felt different, like a shell of what it used to be. 2 months later, my phone rang. The caller ID showed an unknown number. The voice on the other end introduced herself as Claire Morrison, Derek's wife. I wasn't prepared for Claire. She was quiet, worn by years of pain and betrayal, her hair streaked with gray she refused to hide. She carried the weight of this secret far longer than I had. Claire told me she had known about Derek's affair with Natalie for 2 years, while I had only just discovered it. She explained how she'd been gathering evidence silently, biding her time, watching and hurting in her own way. Claire slid a thick manila folder across the table the day we met. Inside were Derek's lies in black and white. Hotel receipts, credit card bills, text messages, and even surveillance footage. "I'm done letting him hurt people," Claire said. "I'm done believing his promises. I want you to know the full truth. Derek's been living a double life for years, lying to both of us, stringing us along while planning his next move. Like what you see? Click like, hit subscribe, and stay tuned. Let's keep going." And then Claire proposed something wild, dangerous, but maybe necessary. A confrontation dinner. She would invite Derek and Natalie over, pretending it was a reconciliation night. Derek and Natalie expected a fresh start or a final goodbye. But Claire and I would be waiting. I would walk in during dessert. We would expose everything, our evidence, the truth, shattering their illusions and stripping Derek of every lie. That December night, I parked down the street, heart pounding, every nerve on edge. Through the window, I saw Derek and Natalie laughing, wine glasses in hand, oblivious to what was coming. Claire opened the door with a cold smile, and when I stepped inside, the room went silent. Derek's face was priceless. Shock, fear, and rage all tangled in a moment. Natalie's smile vanished, replaced by disbelief and shame. The wine glass slipped from her hand, shattering on the floor like the life they'd tried to keep hidden. Piece by piece, Claire laid it all out. Derek stumbled through denials, attempts to deflect, but eventually there was nothing left to say. The weight of his lies crushed the room. Natalie cried, not with regret, but humiliation and anger. She looked at Derek with a hatred I hadn't seen before, and for a moment, I almost felt sorry for him. The night ended with Derek storming out, Natalie calling her sister to pick her up, and Claire and me sitting quietly in the kitchen, drinking wine like survivors of a brutal war. "Do you feel better?" Claire asked softly. "I don't know," I said honestly. "Do you?" She smiled, tired but free. "I feel like I can finally breathe." Claire filed for divorce the following week. Derek's carefully constructed world collapsed, and he disappeared into another city, likely carrying the weight of his mistakes, but probably not changing at all. Natalie and I never spoke again. Our divorce was finalized a couple of months later. She moved far away, seeking therapy and whatever healing she could find. As for Claire and me, we became unlikely allies. Two strangers connected by the wreckage of a man's lies. Not lovers, but friends. I helped her navigate the challenges of single motherhood. She helped me survive the loneliest days after my marriage ended. Looking back, I don't know if what we did was right or wrong. What we did was cruel, painful, messy, but it was honest. Sometimes, truth is ugly, and it shatters everything in its path, but it's the only thing that can set you free. Now, 3 years later, I'm with someone who values honesty above all else. Claire has found peace in her new life. Derek? Somewhere else, hopefully learning, though I doubt it. I'm grateful, not for the heartbreak, but for the clarity it brought. I'm stronger than I knew, and I deserve so much more than I settled for. Natalie's affair tore down the life I thought I wanted. But it gave me the chance to build the life I truly needed. Claire's reckoning didn't just expose Derek's lies. It revealed the truth about all of us. Sometimes everything has to fall apart before you can put the pieces back together. That's my story. Honestly, stories like mine are painful, but they also remind us how complicated love and trust can be. Betrayal isn't just about cheating. It's about the deeper disconnect that happens when two people stop truly seeing each other. What surprised me most was how brokenness could lead to healing, and how sometimes the worst moments in life push us toward the growth we never expected. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that honesty, no matter how brutal, is the foundation we need to rebuild anything that's been lost. If this story resonated with you, please give it a like and subscribe for more real-life stories and honest conversations. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Write in the comments below.